Welcome to the 2Ds and an F podcast with your hosts, Jay and Mikey.
Shut up! Shut up! This is my last picture! Shut it real,
All right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning, I guess. So, just to get something out of the way, after the show last week, we had my cousin Christopher on. Since that show was released, both Jay and Christopher have both been extradited to the South Pacific somewhere, awaiting execution. But you know, I have a feeling everything's going to be okay, and they'll get out of it, and everything will be fine by next week, and Jay will be back next week. But we're praying for both of them and their safety.
Yeah, best wishes.
But, yes, all around. This week, today, we are welcoming a good friend of mine and music collaborative partner of many years. I think we've written more music together than I have with anybody else.
I think that's true.
Yeah, Mr. Willie Nelson, a.k.a. Crillz Wilson. Welcome.
Yep. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I've kind of got my flow on. It's 2 kids and lots to do, but...
Yes. New father for the second time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got...
Beautiful kids. Oh, she's on your back. Okay.
I come equipped. Yeah, you think...
Yes, you do.
You think it stops? It doesn't stop.
This shit don't stop.
The other one's watching Ninja Turtles, so...
Oh,
that's
very
cool.
good. Very good. The 89 movie?
Yeah, you
VHS.
know, it's cringe, though. There's a lot of cringe in there.
A little bit, but, you know, I think it's molded us into, you know, the people we are today.
Sort of. I mean, like,
Plan.
I take issue when, like, they're like, girls just want to go on a diet, and they literally said that, and I was like, all right, well, you know, that was a dumb thing to say. That's usually what I do, is I, like, actually just be like, oh, that's fucking stupid, and my daughter's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I just talk back to the TV. I don't turn it off.
80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find I do that quite a bit. Is just the, you know, but more with the phone, just scrolling through, you know, news feeds, just the, what the fuck, at least 4 or 5 times a day, you know, just everything's a goddamn mess. But you're out in Michigan now.
Yeah.
You know, you lived in Philly for a long time to enjoy that peace and quiet out in the country, which I think, you know, a lot of people are sort of have been kind of accustomed to for the last year of just staying inside and not really interacting with a lot of people, but that's quickly changing and not necessarily for the better because now shit's getting crazy again, but
Yeah.
see what happens with that. What's Michigan like out there? Like, you're not too densely populated where you are, so is it not looked at as big of an issue?
I'm in, like, you know, a town that calls itself a city. That's what I say coming from Philly. I'm like, this is a town that calls itself a city.
Right.
And it's enough people. I mean, you know, we got all the big box stores and there's people in them. So, and nobody's wearing masks anymore. It's like, I'm the only one wearing masks. I have not been into a store without a mask for, like, you know, I guess 15, 16 months now or something like that.
Yeah, it's, you know, my sister's friend, I was just talking to my sister the other day, her friend in Florida got the Pfizer vaccine and has COVID again now, and she's in pretty bad shape, but
shit.
hopefully she'll get better.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's fucking scary. It's really scary.
Yeah.
Of you know, because I don't think any businesses, especially independently or small-owned businesses, are really going to go for another lockdown. Like, they can't. If their business survived COVID the first time and they told us it was okay, and now it's not again. A lot of businesses, I don't see. I'm not going to see much compliance with. That's if any new lockdowns are put into effect. I'd be very interested to see what happens the second time. I hope it doesn't happen, but
well, it's one bad government after another, and they did the lockdown wrong the first time, and they're not going to do it right the second time. The only way to do it is not just like pay stimulus to people, but like literally shut down mortgages, rent, debt. Like you got to do a debt freeze across the board. You got to say, hey, we are in a state of emergency, and actually if we all stay home for like a month, we could probably squash this thing. So all of your debts, everything does not, accrue for a month. You just shut it down for a month. The government has enough resources to get food to everybody. The food's there. The government can pay the people who grew the food. They can pay the people who transport the food. There's plenty of systems in place. And then they just need to, shut down Wall Street and all that shit. But that's the real reason it didn't work the first time. They couldn't bear to shut down the economy, the Wall Street part of the economy. Because they shut down the restaurants.
Certainly so. They certainly did. And it's, big old mess. But we won't spend too much time on that. I do really want to talk to you about, what you do out there now. Like I said, just a brief few minutes ago, you and I have collaborated and written a lot of music together, and I love writing music with you. The one thing I really envy about you as a musician is your ability to write a song about something meaningful. Like, I can write riffs and put together songs all day, but I cannot, for the life of me, write meaningful lyrics or vocal parts that make any sense. I don't even know where to start. What do I talk about? I just can't put it together. But you always sort of, I think, have the idea first, and then you write everything else around it, which is like the exact opposite of me. But we collaborate really well, and I think we've made a lot of really good music together over the years, and we are still, continuing to, at least kind of lately.
I got new stuff.
Yeah,
I have new stuff coming. But it's it's actually, it can be quite a difficult thing, like when you feel like everything has to have meaning.
Yeah.
And it'd be really nice actually to free myself of that. And I feel like, it'd be nice to just do a Mad Libs type songwriting where, so I hear stuff like that. There's like, good example would be like Beck songs or Beatles songs where it's just like an endless parade of images that they draw for you, and it's like there's no, I can't pick out a theme. I'm also not like very literary minded, so like if there's a theme in there that I'm like missing, great for you if you see it. But some of these songs really like, and I love them. I wish I could write like that, just all of these images and images and images, because all I can think of is like, a linear story that I want to tell, and like, a place that I want the song to go. And that can make songs kind of cheesy and corny, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's okay though. As long as it's heartfelt, as long as it's honest, I'll listen to any different music style as long as it doesn't have the meaning and the heart ripped out of it. Like, writing, there's a big difference between, like what you said, like the Beatles and Beck and other artists who are just very colorful with their phrasing and language in songs. Like, does that actually have a meaning, or is it real deep that we just don't understand, or is this just these words sound good together and kind of give a loose context to this song of it just being a big production piece, But I just want to rock. I just want to. Is that's the corniest thing you can do. Is you just want to rock. That's the corniest sounding thing in the world.
That just
but it's the greatest.
Too. That's that's something that I have lost that I don't know if I can get back. Just like literally just like writing a dumb fucking song that rocks. Mm-hmm. Oh man,
you can,
because I get so self-conscious when I try to like, because I don't party, like I'm been living dad life for half a decade, just about. I started early, so like I don't rock anymore, but it is fun. A song that fucking rocks. Yeah,
well, I mean, rock is a pretty loose term in terms of something can be rocking, but it's not like super high gain guitars and real heavy shit. It's just like it's a state of mind, man.
Yeah, says the man with the double stack Marshall poster right behind you.
Yeah. Oh, that's an original T-Rex poster.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah,
I got it from was that vinyl shop in Westchester, like right before it closed down, and they were selling everything off.
I know what you're talking about. That place.
It was on their wall for forever and ever, and they let me buy it.
Podcast listeners love when we like vaguely talk about it. That place. Yeah, I remember the one you're talking about. Also, when we talk about visual things in the room.
Yeah. It was on what's the name of the store? It was on Gay Street, right across from Taylor's Music.
The Mad Hatter, Mad Platter,
Mad Platter. Yeah, that's right.
It's a record pun. Mad Platter.
Get it?
You get it? You get it? It's a platter. It's a part of a record player. The part where you put the record down.
Yep.
If you don't get it, you missed it. It's over.
Yeah. Sucks that place closed. That was a good shop. Good
record
shop
stores
there
in general.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I think the songs, the couple songs that we've been working on together are really, I'd call them very heavy in terms of your meaning in them and the actual instrumentals. It's very dark, which I love. It's very still melodical. And I really liked writing the drum parts to it and putting the songs together and mixing them so they sound good. It's a real test for me to put something out besides just something I did everything on, to make it sound good and in hopes that you will find it good as well.
I wanted to get back to dark. I love dark.
Yeah,
dark, broody music that's like, is just, I love that stuff. But, I kind of have written a few different styles and like dipped my toe in a couple more. And I played in a funky soul band for a whole bunch of years, and that was a blast. Like my biggest desire right now, and I'm sorry if it's not the project that we're working on. It's actually I want to be in a Steely Dan tribute band. I want to be in the best Steely Dan tribute band in the Great Lakes region. That's what I want to be in.
I would hop on that in a hot minute. I would love to be in a Steely Dan cover project, dude.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh, what? Asia? Solid top. Definitely one of my top 10 albums of all time. You had a lot of solid players on that album, and watching the
VH1,
making the album thing on it was so great.
You just fall in love with Bernard Purdie.
Yeah, the Purdie Shuffle, boy.
That is the greatest person in music. Protect Bernard Purdie. Please.
And I put that shuffle in a lot of stuff that I put drums on. You always hear like if I'm doing something. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. The Purdie
that man
shuffle.
created the ghost note.
What is that? That's home at last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
You ever listen to the Night Fly? Oh. You got to go there.
I don't think
It's
so.
the Fagan solo album right after 𝐋𝐢𝐬𝐬.
Oh,
It's scrumptious. It's really
okay.
It's really good. It's he turns up the cheese way high, and he's so good at it. He's so good.
Yeah, he's like you, man. He's a good storyteller.
Yeah,
through song,
they write
through the
some really
majesty
cool
of
stories.
song.
They do a lot of character work, which I feel like I used to do some character work in songs where you're like, you it's like kind of like acting. You put yourself in somebody else's head,
Right.
and you write the song from their perspective. And the result is that like a bunch of these Steely Dan songs make like the singer sound like some like just total scumbag piece of shit, but like it makes for a really cool song.
Yeah. Faux show. So let's delve a little bit into, music. What you're doing now as, do you think of it as a job, or do you think of it as kind of, if I may quote the lovely Terry Gross, tell us about it.
Okay. So I'm a music therapist. I work in hospice. So, that's with people who generally have less than 6 months to live.
Mm-hmm.
That's the loose qualification. Not that they're loosely qualified to be on hospice, but like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like hey, does this person look like that? Maybe they shouldn't be on hospice anymore.
Right.
And people do actually come back off hospice because like they're doing so well.
Yeah.
But I work in hospice, and I go make visits to people at homes or in facilities. I sit by their bed with a little guitar. I have the littlest guitar that you can imagine. And I try and play like their favorite music. Like that's really, on a good day, I get a patient who can tell me what they like, or maybe their child or their spouse can tell me what they like and can tell me their favorite song, and I can learn their favorite song. Cause like that's one of the reasons that I really steered towards hospice music therapy, because I thought, wow, I can learn people's favorite songs and, kind of like take that little piece of them with me. And I don't know, there's a whole bunch of like really cool stuff about
give them
that.
some comfort, because if they are, nearing the end of the old finish line, you want to have.
There's a whole range of issues that you go through: anticipatory grief, even for yourself, loss of independence, opportunities for expression are like way low. Sometimes these people are in facilities, nobody talks to them all day. They've got the TV blaring. It's, there's actually, it goes almost without saying, like we've got a real major problem with how we treat the elderly in the world right now, in the system that we're in. When people get to be a certain age, it's, they're kind of shoved off to the side. And so I deal with a lot of that. But then I also see a lot of people who are in their homes. I really love multi-generational homes. I think that's really cool. And I make visits. I sing people's favorite styles, favorite music. Sometimes they sing along if they can do that. Sometimes it's the only thing they can do, including, not being able to talk. I've got, I think there's this famous movie that a bunch of people watch where like they put headphones on somebody and all of a sudden they start singing, and, before that they were just kind of sitting there non-responsive. And that's, similar to music therapy. You've got, you're engaging people's memory and things like that, because music is, stored all over the brain, whereas speech is stored in one little small part.
Have you ever had anything happen like that dramatic where the person is, day to day is like pretty not responsive or, very animated, then you play something for them and they just kind of light up and
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've had patients who don't talk, but they'll sing along with me, and it's it's pretty cool. It's sort of it's not like a eureka moment for their families because it's sort of evolved to be that way naturally. Like, there are people who sang a lot, so the singing stays as other things taper off.
Now you said you see mostly, is it strictly pretty much elderly folks, or are there?
It's not strictly, but I don't see children. We don't take anybody, or I don't know what our policy is, why we don't, but we don't have any patients that are, that are under 18.
Yeah.
I'd
I'd
seen
imagine
some
that
young patients, but there's all sorts of dynamics involved there, and
yeah, I mean, I'm sure working with, younger people that draws a pretty heavy, gives you a different look on humanity and how, death with younger people. I think that would be a lot more difficult to handle. Not that, caring for, elderly and terminal older people isn't, but if they got to live a pretty full life and got to do what they wanted to do throughout life, and this is the way they get to, not end it, but have something like this available to them where it can lift them up a little bit. Whereas, younger, especially children, that's got to be very emotionally taxing because they haven't gotten to live a full life yet, and maybe they won't. It's I think it would be harder to, inspire hope if their outlook is, that bad. But yes, especially you have new kids now. You've two kids yourself. I wouldn't imagine that you'd.
I think that requires a whole different set of skills. And I do have kid skills. I've got I taught guitar and piano and drums to kids, and I really love doing that. And and I really love doing hospice. And I don't know, maybe someday I could see doing something at the intersection of that, but right now it's I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing. I've worked with people who are I've done hospice care for people who are younger than me, and it's not something that you want for them. But it's good to be there for them, and it's good to be there to support them, and you kind of make it a priority when people are young, to really get them a lot of visits and try and work on building legacy for them. And if you can, like, write down their favorite songs, if you can talk to them enough to compose a song with them, that's really special.
So you've done that too. You've done like sort of like writing an original piece with somebody.
Yeah, that's something. Well, I write it with patients or caregivers, and it's really, it's kind of really special when it happens. It's not something that happens every day. It's not really appropriate for every patient, but when you've got the patient and you can tell that they've just got their creative, senses outward, and you can just kind of, you can really communicate and with them. They can give you ideas. Sometimes people are just giving me ideas, and some people are like really involved, fitting the rhymes in, and crafting the song with me, and that's really nice, because then they really have an easy time taking ownership of it, which is important. You want people to not say, "Oh, that song that you wrote for me was great." I'm like, "Well, you wrote it too. Like we wrote it together. I didn't just make up a song,
Yeah.
That was something that we did together." And then, families have that as another legacy of their loved one. So it really, that's one of the most special things to do. And then, I also mentioned the writing down people's favorite songs, maybe writing down the stories that they have about their memories with those songs. That's another thing I like to do, is sort of like a musical autobiography.
Yeah. Well, good on you, man. That's a really good thing you're doing, and I wish I had the fortitude to do something like that. It's a really good thing you're doing. I wish I would have thought of something like this when my grandma was in hospice care, and towards the end of her ride, I didn't even think of it. Like, why don't I just grab an acoustic or have someone who does what you do come in and just talk with her a little bit, ask her favorite songs, and just learn them and play with it. That would have made her, really, really happy. So yeah, man, that's a huge thing. That's a good thing you're doing for a large number of people. It's very commendable, very commendable, very proud of you.
Well, thank you. I mean, I feel lucky that I got the opportunity to do it. That I, even found out that it was a thing that I could do. I feel like that's one of the big barriers. And then being able to go back to school, my parents helped me with that. So, I was really, really lucky. And then, once I had the training and, the idea of where to go, everything else has been like, getting on a water slide and just riding it. 'Cause it's really like, the hospice that I work for just really snatched on to me, and it was like, okay, we're doing this. And then, I have a really good team that, all showed me the ropes and got me all plugged in. And so now I've been doing it for 3 years at the place that I'm doing it, and it feels good.
Good, man. I don't think I would, if I tried something like that, I would show up with, a Marshall JCM 2000 and, 7-string with active pickups and very,
I got a patient who would love that.
Yeah. Just chugging and just riffing it up. That's all I would do. I don't know if that would be good with the other patients.
Not all of them.
Not all of
them. Not all of them. But, I mean, if you can play Blue Skies or something like that on it, then you're golden.
Well, I do have a nice classical
Look at that.
Ibanez. I have quite an assortment of guitars now. I think you'd be very proud of my collection.
I just got the big
Strat.
old honking Crillz guitar behind me. That's all.
Yeah, it's a good guitar.
Yeah. I have the biggest acoustic guitar I could find, and the smallest acoustic guitar that I could find.
Yeah, I wish I had started playing, guitar and bass and everything else a lot earlier than I did, because when we were in Crillz together and New International Satan, I just played drums and that was it. I might have come up with like a bass line or two, very simple, but the last few years I've been really, really delving into playing a bunch of different instruments and having good results. Still
It's
nothing
fun,
with
isn't
lyrical content. I can hit the notes, but I hate the sound of my voice. So
I like
I'll
the
never
sound of your voice. You got kind of like a rock. It's got like, what's the timbre I want to say? I want to say like it's definitely got like an 80s rock feel when I've heard you sing. Yeah, when you belt it, The
only times I would really belt it is drunkenly at karaoke.
Yeah.
I would do some Doors tunes. I can do a good Jim Morrison. I can do a very good Jim Morrison style.
Yeah, that's that too.
And some other stupid shit, but I don't know. I'm self-conscious about it, but that's part of the reason why I agreed to start this podcast with Jay, is to face the reality of having to listen to my own voice while editing and through headphones and all that, just listening back and trying not to cringe and get over that. So I've
That's
always
cool.
hated
That's
the
a
sound
good goal.
I've always hated the sound of my voice.
I don't
Always
like
hated
the
it.
talking voice I've got. This is like I'm probably I don't think I can listen to this. This is like, oof. Sorry, listener. You're suffering.
No, I think you have a very unique voice. Very unique.
Well, we all hate the sounds of our own voices.
Yeah. Well, not everybody.
Oh.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, man. How's Lexi doing? How's the family?
Yeah, so family's doing good. It's a lot. It's a lot right now. The little one, she doesn't like to be not on somebody in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so
she's a snuggler.
Yeah, she's just snuggled
snuggler.
up.
All right.
I'm out of the house 8 or 9 hours a day because that's, the way it is. I feel like, it really, for one thing, we live in COVID world, so we're not doing daycare, or school or anything like that. And then even afterwards, like we were never really keen on the daycare scene. We always kind of just agreed like, hey, whatever it takes, let's just keep the budget low and, one of us is at home with the kids. So
yeah,
over
You
the
gotta
first
have a
year,
budget.
there was sort of, she was working her business really hard and then I was finishing school and, then I was home with the baby for a year. And then I got this job and, I've been out at work every day, except I took 3 months off when this little one was born, just as the COVID was really spiking too. So
yeah,
it was good time.
my brother, his second child, is due, in the next week or two. First boy.
Congratulations,
named
Uncle
Kai,
Mikey.
but he lives in Florida, and we're really hoping the hospital won't be at like, what is it, level black or something like that it's called, where it's just gonna be his wife and him allowed in the hospital.
Well, here's another thing.
Code black, something like that.
We didn't give birth at the hospital. I say we, like I really did any of it. But
oh yeah, you guys did. You guys did home birth, didn't you?
Yeah,
You did tell me
Lexi did a home birth. We got a inflatable hot tub, and we got a midwife, and she made some visits throughout the year, and then just before Thanksgiving we set up the hot tub for the last time, and that was it. We did it at home. It was actually really beautiful. It was, worked really well. She came out the midwife warned us about this. She was like, I pretty often have to do rescue breaths when like babies come out. That's like a thing. So, she had already told us, so I already knew. And of course she had to do it for Rose. She had to give her a couple rescue breaths to get her started, get her going.
Yeah.
And I guess that's, I didn't see that happen at the hospital, even with, the bag or anything like that, for my firstborn. So it was sort of a little jarring for the second, but I did have some warning. And then other than that, the home birth really felt like it went off without a hitch. And she actually, we're going to have her first doctor's visit tomorrow because COVID's down enough in this area that we think that it's time, and we know it's, likely going to go back up. So we want to make sure to get it in, before she gets to be 1 year old. But I mean, she's been healthy, and we're not going out there near measles, mumps, and rubella. So we're not anti-vaxxers, but I guess we kind of are right now because she's unvaccinated.
Yeah.
But you know,
she's a baby.
She's healthy. She's doing good, and we're gonna get her vaccinated when it's safe.
Well, the good thing about doing a home birth is that she's not automatically chipped by Amazon, so she won't be able to get a job there. But
the Futurama job gun thing, the job scanner.
She won't be marketed to endlessly. You know, so she can probably live a pretty private life if she wants.
Yeah. Sorry to my first
one. Just watch. Totally... Just keep your eyes on the doctor tomorrow, and just make sure he doesn't have that little
chip,
little sticker.
Yeah.
You know, they'll get you every time.
When do you think they got us?
Probably with
What's something we all
during
put in our...
like a routine hospital visit at some point?
Yeah.
In our or urgent care. I'm going to say. When they established urgent care places, that's when they started. You know.
Yeah.
They'll check you, and if you don't have one, you'll get one.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, hey, I really do want to get that new Samsung.
They've totally they've bypassed it completely because the facial recognition I now know can tell who I am when I have a mask and sunglasses on. Yeah. Mask and sunglasses. And that's bizarre to me. I sign in at this one facility and it's got this camera, podium, kiosk, whatever, that takes your temperature, but it also takes your picture. Yeah. And, most of them don't at least they don't tell you about the fact they're taking your picture. They just ask you some questions and take your temperature. This one, starts out by showing me my picture and saying, "Hi, William Nelson." And then it sends me a fucking text message saying,
"Hello." You already have your number.
Really,
you already have all your shit.
Really creepy stuff. And so, when I realized that it was doing this, I started seeing how much mask I would have to wear before I could get it to not know who I was. Yeah. Mostly because I want to know, do the cameras in Target know who I am? Do the cameras in... Yes, they do. Yes. They do.
Dude, our phones are listening to us. There's people always say, "Oh, I was just thinking of this," and all of a sudden it's on my phone, but you don't realize that, you did actually search for something and it's like, "Oh, okay, that's why." But no, the phones are listening to us without a doubt. Very good example, just the other day. Ape and I are going on a cruise next month, so she said, you got to wear a mask. I want you to wear a mask when we're in anywhere with anybody else. I'm like, all right, fine. But it sucks because I have a giant beard, and it sucks wearing a mask. She's like, they make the full length ones for people with giant beards, so I'll get you those. We're having this. We said this to each other while just watching TV. Neither of us were on our phones. And when the show was over, I picked up my phone, just opened up fucking Facebook, just scrolling through, and bang, what is there right away? An ad for full-length beard masks.
Oh, God.
Right away. Right away it was there.
I haven't been on Facebook in too long, so I have almost forgotten that sensation. I mean, too long I say, but I don't miss it. I'm not going back. I've been meaning to get rid of it.
I keep it for... I don't even really post through the podcast page. I've been skimping on that. I just don't want to go on it anymore.
Yeah, it sucks.
I'll just shuffle through it if there's any funny pictures or whatever, but really it's just a collection of fucking garbage.
Yeah,
it's just ads and just stuff. Who cares?
I like texting people now. That's my favorite thing. Just keeping in touch with people.
Yeah,
as much as I can. Group texts are nice. Group chats, and then I hang out in Twitter in the Venn diagram between leftist politics and Steely Dan fans. I'm right there. That's where I am.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good place to be. But yeah, I don't know. If it's, if it's somebody's birthday, why put on? Who cares? Just call them.
Yeah.
I'll just call someone on their birthday, or at least text them.
I even
But-
even back when I was using Facebook, I always felt like, it was better to like, if you noticed it was somebody's birthday on Facebook, to text them,
Yeah.
or call them. That's even better. But like, what if you don't want to talk to that person?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just
phone
want to say
calls
happy
are-
birthday, and I'm gonna go on my way. I'm trying to get my coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, no, compared to like 10 years ago, phone calls are, few and far between these days. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll still talk to my mom and dad and my sister and brother and, some other people who don't use, the internet
tech.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad is almost texting. He was texting for
Oh.
a minute. He's done, I think. His eyesight is not good enough for it anymore. But I got a good like year and change of solid texting with my dad.
Yeah. See, my dad flipped the scripts. He's been an IT man his whole life basically. Used to build and move data centers and doing disaster recovery tests, all that shit. And he has always been a PC man, like personal computer, nothing Apple at all, ever. He just got an iPhone. I'm like, what are you doing? Why now? Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Like I gave him all the reasons why not to get one, because he's sending pictures constantly, videos, things like that. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, texting a video between like an iPhone to an Android and vice versa, the video quality is absolute shit. You're gonna hate this phone. You're not gonna be able to put anything on it easily. You're not gonna be able to take anything off of it easily. You have to buy a million different fucking things for it. What are you doing? And now he's stuck with it. Like, it's too fucking bad, dude. Go back to Android.
That's funny. I mean, I like Apple products, or I still have an iPhone 6S
Yeah.
from like 2014 or whatever that was.
Yeah, I had not. That was the only iPhone I ever had. I got an S6 Plus many years ago. It was the only time I ever had an iPhone, and nah, not for me.
I'm not ready to
Not for
give
me.
up my headphone jack, so I have not.
Mm,
There's no later iPhone that I want, and I
Yeah.
also, I have like a pretty new Android for work, and I've seen what's available for it, and the apps suck, man. They suck. So the apps are better on the iPhone. The technology is better on the Android. The privacy is better on the iPhone.
Yeah.
It's like it just, there's no good phone.
BlackBerry should make a comeback, but that
Yeah,
had its own
seriously.
set of shortcomings. But hey, what can you do?
What about
What
the
can you
Freedom
do?
phone? We could all get the Freedom
Dude,
phone.
I want to get one. I do want to get one just to see what the fuck's on it and how badly, like how quickly, you can jailbreak it, how quickly you can just get hooked up with fucking weird people and
ISIS.
get involved in like a really fucking shady setup of some kind with a bunch of fucking, super far right lunatics.
Yeah.
Get hacked get monitored by the Chinese government the entire time. I really do want to get one
It
for
would be
for
fun,
that
yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. What do you think? What do you think a super left phone would be?
Oh, I don't know.
What would it be compromised? Where would it be built? How would it be built? What would be on it?
And I mean, okay, so like, if you want to like really zoom out, like, my ideal leftism doesn't have phones. I don't know. Like, I just want to live in like a community
Pen and paper and mail.
that takes care of everybody,
Yeah.
and everybody takes care of each other, and like, you have time to like talk to people. Like, you don't have to run away from a conversation because you got to get to work. Like, you know what needs to get done, everybody else knows what needs to get done. People just do it. I don't know. I know like people make fun of this stuff and call it utopian, but like I really like it. I think of the world that Ursula K. Le Guin painted in The Dispossessed, and and they're on a shitty planet that's got nothing going for it, and they're just like everybody just struggles together. But I don't know. I mean, phones. What's a good phone? I think I don't know. I don't know if we should have these.
They're all bad. They're all
bad, yeah.
mass produced by children, basically, at
my neck
slave
hurts.
labor costs, and
my neck hurts. I have neck pain now. Like,
none of us are truly like the way society functions on a global level right now is basically it's very hard not to be on the grid in some way and be a party to something horrible in all the way on the other side, but it's there, what went into giving us our creature comforts is
it's
something we don't see a lot. We don't really think about it, but we're all content to go along with it.
Yeah, the people who are kind of considered like middle class here are among the top, 15% in the world, and like the global South has just been completely robbed to pay for that, and so it's not good, and I don't know what to do about it other than what we do, which is mutual aid. We've got a mutual aid group that Lexi really runs, where we, for the most of 2020, we distributed food to like 60 to 80 people per week. And she got hooked up with 500,000 masks. So for a little while, we had 500,000 masks in our garage, and we were, passing them out to activist groups box by box. And so, now we've probably got like 100,000 or so. And I'm sure that those are going to go quick when things start to spike.
Yeah.
And
on the opposite end is that guy who got $75,000 worth of hand sanitizer and hoarded it in his garage and started selling them for like, $50 a piece. That guy's a fucking scumbag. And it turns out legally he couldn't resell them. Now he's stuck after spending $75,000 on hand sanitizer. That guy's an asshole.
He's just doing what the system told him to do. Like, it's funny because it's sort of like he thought he was going to be rubbing elbows with millionaires, because everybody's like kind of a temporary embarrassed millionaire. They're like, oh yeah, well, when I get all the money that I'm going to get, then, I'm not going to want to have to deal with.
Forget about everybody else.
Yeah, right. So that's, I mean, but, really the people who profited from, like Jeff Bezos did the exact same thing during the epidemic, and then he got to fly to fucking space. So this guy gets $75,000 worth of hand sanitizer and he gets stuck with it. It's sort of like, who did the worst shit?
Yeah. I mean, no, man. I mean, there's wanting society to be better, and the big idea is very good. I don't think anybody in any culture has gotten it exactly right yet. Otherwise, we'd all be much, much happier. But I don't know. I don't get too far into politics in the way that governments are run, all that, just how, it should be, but
yeah, I don't know how it should be.
Just not.
I know enough to be like, this ain't right, but
oh yeah,
I'm not.
No, our healthcare system is fucked. Our government is not doing great.
Not great. One bad
Not
president
that
after another.
I mean, I think our society is thriving in a lot of ways that it hasn't.
It is interesting
with technology, but
yeah.
a lot of ways we're going backwards very fast. It's just reapplying the same principles to evolving technology and being able to communicate with each other so much quicker, and information is fucking everywhere.
I can know anything that there is to know.
Yeah.
It's
Google it.
Google it. Google it. Read a Wikipedia page. Go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I love rabbit holes. What's your favorite Wikipedia rabbit hole to go down?
I don't really go down them that much. I like more of the instant gratification of a good meme.
Okay,
like the one where Captain America is in the hallway with the chair. The first image is him putting the chair down, and then him sitting down on it backwards, and it just says, "So you got duped by a teenager on the internet, trying to QAnon and all that fucking garbage."
Right.
That one made me chuckle a bit. That's a good one.
Well, my favorite rabbit hole is evolutionary shit, where like you're looking at I'm thinking orcas, dolphins, whales. Mm-hmm. Those motherfuckers evolved from something that walked on land.
Oh.
Right? That's how it works. Mammals evolved from reptile type things that, were around before the dinosaurs. I think the mammals and dinosaurs existed side by side for a while. And they definitely didn't start out as sea creatures. So it's kind of cool. What were the things in between the little mousy things that were running around hundreds of millions of years ago, and dolphins and whales? How did we end up with animals that breathe a whole bunch of air all at once and then go down under the water for half an hour? That's amazing to me. And that's the kind of stuff that I will sit with. I'll sit in the bathroom for till my legs get numb, reading oh man, and then what is this animal related to?
Evolutionary theories and things like that, I think are always very interesting, because they're not, depending on who you're talking to, they're not really all that controversial unless you're talking to, a religious fanatic who believes this is it, Earth is 2,000 years old, blah, 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 all that. But, there's no government cover up with sea mammals.
Birds aren't real.
There's no cabal of fucking, squids.
Oh my God. I was learning about, what's it called? I think not the nautilus. The nautilus is a crustacean with a shell. I was learning about the argonaut. It's an octopus. Ooh. And it's got a shell, and they're all over the world. You don't usually see them because they hang out in the open water, not in the gulfs and stuff where there's more predators. And the female is really big and the male is really small, and they navigate the water using sort of a jet propulsion, where they suck in water and then spew it out of a siphon, and in order to mate, the male detaches his penis and gives it to the female, and then goes off and dies somewhere
as a gift.
Yeah, it's a parting gift. Here's a gift. This is my penis. You may have it, and
yes,
goodbye,
please
cruel
enjoy.
world, and then they're gone,
Yeah.
and new Argonauts.
Give her the D one last time.
It's just the tip. Promise.
Before sweet death.
Right.
No, dude, I gotta tell you, I was very, very disappointed when, so I'm a huge Deftones fan. The 7-string guitar, that Mike Schramm helped me build is modeled after, Steph's guitar, like the pickups, how it's, everything like that. So when he says, he believes the earth is flat, like, all right, that's not, whatever. He's still an amazing musician and huge influence on me, whatever. If he wants to believe that, fine. Then, all the anti-vax shit, and then he said kind of, like at the end of an interview, kind of imply that he may not believe that 9/11 actually happened, and I was just, God, dude, you're not fucking serious. Please don't be fucking serious. Please don't make me into a fucking maniac. Like, that. How can you believe something so fucking stupid?
I remember when Loose Change came out, and I kind of believed that.
It's the most.
When do you remember Loose Change?
Were debunked very quickly. Yeah, those guys were.
Oh man,
did not do a good job.
It when I was 22 or 23 or whatever it was when that thing came out, I was like, damn. And I've come to the nice comfy middle ground, which is they knew it was going to happen and they let it happen. That's
oh no, I mean I'm
pretty clear right there.
I'm positive that there's an element to 9/11 that we'll never know about, that there was something that is not the official story. Do any of us know what it is? Fuck no. Are we going to find out? Maybe way down the road, but probably not. But to say that it never happened, or that they flew, like they replaced the crew of four different fucking flights.
Wasn't Loose Change said it was drones, right? It was like drones. It's like, it was drones, and they had to blow up the building because jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be the fucking 20th anniversary this year. I'm gonna have to log off for like a week. I'm not gonna want to be online anywhere near online for like a week.
Yeah, I think something's going down.
I think it's gonna suck, and I think it's gonna be a lot of people talking about it all the time, and I'm just gonna be like, oh man, I don't want to read about this all the fucking time. I mean, it had it's like the major event of the millennial lifetime that, changed the whole world for us.
He lost a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And one of his company he worked for at the time had offices at the Trade Center, and a lot of them didn't make it out. It's the most witnessed fucking crime in human history. Like, it was broadcast worldwide on television as it happened. Yeah. It's fucking undeniable. How can you say that it didn't happen?
Yeah, that's a fun.
Like, I get trying to look into it and trying to find something that probably is there, but you're just going way the wrong fucking direction.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much extra work that had to go into making it what you're saying it is, that just do the simplest fucking thing.
Is he also into
why make so many loose ends that you have to tie up?
Is this guy also into like adrenochrome theories and stuff like that?
I don't know. He hasn't gotten like super into anything else during interviews on like his conspiracy views. He has been very vocal about thinking the earth is absolutely flat, and he doesn't believe that.
That's awesome.
You can't transmit infection from person to person. You can't catch anything that's airborne. Like,
why does he have to have like awesome views
on.
like flat earth, and then also have like dumb views like that? I love flat earth people. That's the best like dumb idea. I fucking love it. Just, really committed to like really like that's a big one. But then like, the vaccine thing, like, oh man, I do get suspicions around vaccines, but it's like, it's like so fucking stupid with what like, people are like putting, like they're like smoking a cigarette and they're drinking like, a mass produced beer and they're like eating a bag of like Flamin' Hot Cheetos and they're like, I don't want to put some like untested shit in my body. I'm like, all right. Yeah. And this one could help my kids not get COVID. So like do that. I'm, that's my like, I'm not, not really big on state and like, big government, but like, I would love to just, be part of a vaccination task force, just like running around with a dart gun.
It's right in the neck, right in the jugular.
Yeah, that would be good.
That'll be $87.
Oh man. Oh, well, that's the other side of it. Those like, thank you for the vaccine, but really like we paid for it and they're going to profit from it. And you know how much they think they're going to make on that vaccine? They think it's going to be their best selling product of all time because, we're never going to get rid of this virus. We're going to need booster shots every year and they're just going to keep it coming and keep it coming. Oh man. Yep. Pfizer and Moderna, they are happier than pigs in shit right now.
Stockholders don't like free shit, or at least the things they're holding stock in being free.
They don't even care that they had to make it free for this year because they're like, I've seen the clip of the president or whatever shareholders meeting, and they're talking about how like, yes, it's free for this year, but everybody's going to need booster shots for basically the long-term future, and so we really anticipate this being our biggest product. I'm like, oh, okay, and we paid for it with tax dollars, so like, whew, they got it free, and they're going to sell it back to us forever.
And that is how the world turns, my friend.
Yeah, I get to complain about it though.
Yeah, that's a big. A lot of people aren't allowed to do that.
Yeah. They're not allowed to complain about what our country does.
Yeah. Some pretty bad shit sometimes. Yeah. All right, man. Well, yeah, man. Thank you for coming on. Is there anything you want to plug or anything you're working on? You want to get out there?
I mean, like,
floor is yours.
Yeah. If anybody's listening to me, just like find some way that you can help people who you see in need around you. Like, give a $5 bill to the dude out your window when you're like, pulling up. Like, do that shit. Like, really, like, don't worry about people freeloading and shit like that. This is my plug. Forget that logic. Like, nobody's trying to scam you except for the people who already are scamming you. That's my plug.
Mm-hmm. All right. Find a rock and roll band that needs a helping hand.
Yeah, that too.
That's what I always say. All right, bud. Well, thank you for coming on. Hopefully, Jay will be released from his released from prison very soon. Yeah, and he'll be back, and everybody's just going to be just fine. So we will see you guys next week. Willie, good friend, good times, good man, family man. Wish you the best. Hope to see you again soon. And when we're finished with this album, we'll get it out there and have everybody listen.
Yeah, we will. I love you, buddy.
We're back. We're fucking back. All right, bud. I will talk to you soon and see everybody next week.
Bye.
2Ds is part of Might Be News Network. That's mbnnetwork.com. It is also a fucking done sound production. If you would like to tell your story on 2Ds and an F, email us at 2Ds and an F podcast at gmail.com. That's TWODSANDANF podcast at gmail.com. For episode segments, extras, and upcoming guest interviews, check out 2Ds and an F podcast pages on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Full-length episodes are available on YouTube, Spotify, and just about everywhere other podcasts are found. Don't forget to like and subscribe.